Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm shooting a sit down video. I've been doing a lot of vlogs, so I just thought let me do a sit down and just talk about stuff that I go through at work or observations that I make at work. So I thought of a topic. It's basically, so I'm looking down because I noted it here so that I don't forget anything. It's 5 things men do at the workplace that women should do more of. So being in the workplace, because I don't want to say corporate, because this could happen at a non-profit organization. It could also happen at a hospital, but basically it's things or observations that I've made personally. So this is like from my personal observation and experience, that women should do more of and that men do. So please do watch. By the way, this is a light-hearted discussion, so it's not to offend anybody, and it's also a task for myself, so to say, that I should do more of these things so that I can stand out, so that I can do better in my delivery at work. I have four things that I'm going to discuss. The first one is being direct with communication. So men are very direct when they speak, and it's something that I've noticed that when I'm gonna write an email, there's gonna be a lot of kindly, there's gonna be a lot of please, may you, and it's just to soften somebody up. But with men, this even happened, and it was an intern. Not to say that because an intern is not supposed to show himself, but it's like you're starting off in the workforce and already your communication is direct. This is what I want, and it kind of took me aback. I'm like, oh, okay, it was very direct. So ladies, drop the please. Nobody's doing you a favor at work. We're all here to work, as long as it's not offensive to anybody, as long as you're not like offending someone and being rude, but you're being direct. This is a document that I need, this is the feedback that I need. Be direct in your communication. So that's one thing I'm taking. Number 2 is that men apply for jobs they do not qualify for. Okay, maybe not qualify for, but maybe they only have 60% of what the job requires, and they'll apply. It's funny because we were having this discussion with my manager that with men, it's like I'll see an advert, it requires this and this and this and this. Maybe it's out of 10 things I've got 4, I'll apply. And guess what? They'll get the job, because honestly, sometimes you might know what to do and maybe not have some of the requirements that they have, but when you get to the interview, you show yourself, people like you get the job. You never know. So women try to see whether they have at least 90 to 100% of what the job requires, and that means you're going to miss out on opportunities. A lot of people have stories about, I honestly was just taking a chance. I knew that I didn't have the certificate or this amount of experience, but they took me. So really take the opportunity to apply. If you see that this is the job that you want, and the job spec speaks to what you want to do, or a certain step that you're making in your career, take the chance, lady. You never know. Okay, so the third thing is structured in a way that women do it and men do less of, which is supposed to be the opposite, or we must try to be the opposite. So women tend to be much more nicer and more readily available to help. Don't confuse me with saying that you mustn't be a team player or help people that need assistance, but what this tends to do is that you're too nice. And then people are going to shift everything to you. Oh, just give it to Sibahle, she'll do it. Or just give it to so-and-so, she'll do it. And you're going to continue taking and taking, and it's not going to benefit you in any way. You're going to be burnt out, you're going to be overworked. You're not going to have the time to focus on things that you're actually supposed to do or what you're being paid to do. So as women, and it's an observation that I make, that if a guy doesn't have the capacity to do that, they'll say, sorry, I'm busy, The funny one is that is above my pay grade, or that is above my level. Don't include me. So it's important to have boundaries and for other people to understand those boundaries. But if we don't communicate them, people will never know. It's always going to be, oh, give it to so and so, she's helpful, she'll do it. So be firm and assertive. That's the word. Be assertive with your boundaries, and say that this is where I start and this is where I end, and I'm going to be helpful as much as I can, but helping you must not take away from what it is that I'm actually supposed to be doing. So that is one lesson to me, from me to me. Okay, so the last thing that I have here in my notes is that men speak up. So whether it's communicating that they don't agree with something, whether it's communicating that they actually support something, in meetings as well, men tend to be more vocal than women. And I was reading an article that then women are cut off more than men. So it's important for us women to communicate. If you have an opinion, share it. I know it's daunting for me personally. It's daunting to, share your opinion and all of that in a meeting. But men tend to be more vocal, and sometimes it appears as though when you are talkative, it's like you know more. Sometimes you find that a person is sitting in the corner and they know the answer or they know the solution, but they are not, coming out with it. So I think it's also a discussion on introverts and extroverts. It's another discussion I was having with someone at work, that it feels like the corporate world is built for, or the workplace is built for extroverts. If you talk more, people listen, people give you attention. But if you're more reserved and you pick the times when you should speak, sometimes it appears as though you don't have anything to say, which means you don't know anything, which is not true. So one of the articles that I did read is that, okay, even though that, actually I'm lying, it wasn't an article, it was a LinkedIn course. So to say that, as if you are an introvert, don't use it as an excuse to say that you're an introvert so you're not going to share. So try and use some different mechanisms to give you the confidence to then speak. One of the things they said is that if you have a colleague and you're close to that colleague and you're in the same meeting, you could say that, okay, this colleague can kind of open up for you, to say that maybe you've discussed this previously before the meeting, and you're saying that I've got this and this and this as an option or a solution, how we can fix this, and then you ask that colleague to say that, or the more vocal colleague to say, oh, I think Sibahle's got something to add onto that, Sibahle, and then that's a good way to come in and then present. So there's different ways where introverts can capitalize on how they can contribute more and also be seen, because it's very competitive. You always have to be seen, you always have to kind of show that you do know something and you can contribute something. That's the unavoidable nature of the workplace. Those are the 4 things that I feel men do that women should start doing more of. It'll definitely make a difference in how people perceive you and how people actually interact with you. So it's not about being mean or rude, unapproachable, but it's being firm and assertive and making people understand where you start and where you finish, and being a good team player, but also being fair to each other. So one thing that I did want to say is that we can't really run away from the biases and inequalities that do exist in the workplace. It's something that's been there for the longest time. There's been There have been significant improvements. We are seeing a lot more females taking leadership positions, which is amazing. So amazing for females and women in the workplace. So basically the request is men should also start being allies in the workplace for women if they do see that there are inequalities or biases that exist in their workplace, or they see that this person knows what they're doing, this person has the solutions, but they're not given the opportunity, they're not given the platform to share, they're not taken seriously. Because I think that's such a major setback in your confidence, in your delivery at work, is when you're not taken seriously. And whether it's being a young female coming into the workplace, you have your older generations in the workplace, you have all this energy, you're coming in with fresh new ideas, and they might just be like, oh, please give us a break, please, we're here to work. So if you're seeing that as a man, be an ally, support and say, this person is coming with new ideas, this person is coming with a fresh dynamic, let's hear them out. And I think that way we will advance in being more equal and taking each other seriously in the workplace. I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed talking about these things. These are personal experiences that I've had, or observations, or based on conversations that I've had with certain people. So if you do have a topic that you'd like for me to talk about, or different pointers, do share with me in the comment section. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.